These are the top 69 Overwatch facts you have to know right now. Number 1. Overwatch is actually a total conversion mod of Titanfall. Total conversion mods are full games that borrow heavily from the assets and engine of another game, and Overwatch was actually started as a fan project by Blizzard based on Titanfall game engine called Source. Number 3. Lucio's name is actually Jamal. You see, when the devs were making the game, they decided the specific abilities of each character first, then designed the character's appearance, then lastly chose each character's name. They were having particular trouble deciding on Jamal's name and had a small list of potential names, and Lucio was on that list. They tried each name out in-game to see how they liked it, but ultimately decided to keep the name Jamal. But when the open beta happened, they accidentally had been working on a version of the game that had his name as Lucio. Once the open beta came out, it was too late for them to change it back, so they stuck with the name Lucio despite his real name being Jamal. Number 11. The title Overwatch is actually a play on the titles Titanfall, Warcraft, and Zyphod Plasfox Earth Invasion. Number 27. Jamal is based on the character Jamal Lion from the television series Empire. This is why the name Lucio ended up on the potential name list for Jamal, as Jamal Lion's father's name is Lucius Lion. This shows that Jamal is actually gay, and that the team at Blizzard's difficulty in deciding on Jamal's name was actually a decision over whether his character should be gay or not in the game. Number 13. The reason you have unlimited ammo in the game is that Overwatch's engine couldn't support enough single precision unsigned float point integer variable containers to support an API that could manage enough arguments to allow each character to have his or her own unique ammunition array, unlike the more efficient Quake 3 engine that the Call of Duty games use. Number 2. Tracer is used the most in advertising for Overwatch, despite her not actually being the hottest character. The hottest character, of course, being McCree, no homo. Number 68. You can see at least 40% of Widowmaker's butt at any given moment in a match of Overwatch. Number 26. Michael Notch Morum, the CEO of Blizzard, announced that the only reason Overwatch was ported to console was to make more money. Number 20. McCree, Symmetra, Torbjorn, Junkrat, and Genji are all an homage to Black Ops 3, as they all have prosthetic limbs, an idea they borrowed from Treyarch. Number 10. Working off of TF2's success, the Overwatch team was originally going to use collectible hats instead of skins for Overwatch, but the devs were having so much fun making new fan art for their waifus that they decided they could use their designs in the game. All they had to do after that was copy and paste them in different colors and make skins for the unattractive characters like Bastion and Winston. Number 29. A little known fact is that you can actually play Call of Duty Zombies in Overwatch by going into a private match and setting all the opponents to easy Zenyatas.
What is Okay. Oh shoot. Nice.
Number 6. Junkrat and Roadhog, being the only Australian characters in the game, is actually a show of the loyalism to the British Crown that the developers over at Blizzard have. Australia was originally a prison colony of the British, but is now a thriving, poisonous land, but the loyalists over at Blizzard wanted to portray Australians as being dirty, fat necks. Number 18. Pharah's character was originally a man, but the devs were fighting over who got which waifu, and one dev got stuck with Rocket Dude, so he decided to change him to a her so he'd be more happy with his leftover. Number 7. Widowmaker is yet another show of the devs over at Blizzard's loyalist and anti-patriot views. The British always loved making fun of the French because of Britain's low self-esteem, so the Blizzard devs portrayed the only French person in the game as being a deceptively attractive purple person who can't keep relationships. And as we all know, the song One-Eyed, One-Horned, Flying Purple People Eater was a British folk song about how superior the British were to the purple French. Number 19. There is actually a piece of furniture you can buy at IKEA named Jamal, which was supposed to be a reference to this game, but when Blizzard screwed up with the naming him Lucio, Blizzard and IKEA had to end their partnership. Number 17. Bastion's bird is based off the bird you play as in the 1984 ZX Spectrum video game Potty Pigeon, a socially suppressed individual who is merely trying to make a nest to shelter his youngins while the anxiety from the pressuring society causes him to have severe yet controllable diarrhea. Number 28. If Jamal and Diva appear on the same team, there is a small chance that in the pre-game lobby they will both ask each other for each other's autographs. Number 16. Bastion is based on the video game Bastion by Supergiant Games, but the devs at Blizzard were smart enough to know that people would be making waifus of the characters of the game, and realized it would probably be more appropriate for people to make waifus of a robot than with the kid. Number 9. Blizzard is confirmed time travelers, as Overwatch is their first new IP in 19 years, despite the fact that Blizzard was formed only 18 years ago in 1996. Number 12. The team over at Blizzard has such attention to detail that each character's hair makes a different sound when blowing in the wind, so you can tell what character you're standing next to without having to move your eyes. Number 14. The team at Blizzard had heavy influence from the movie The Matrix Reloaded, and when they realized that the gun models they used for Reaper didn't have any openings to allow for reloading, they took the idea from The Matrix to just have a neck ton of guns that never bothered actually reloading. Number 4. The best tactic that beginners to Overwatch usually don't think of is to use silencers on your guns. It decreases the range, but it keeps you off the enemy radar, making you essentially invisible. Number 15. Winston is known to make Shakespeare quotations, including the infamous line,
"But now there's an additional knuckle joint added on my tentacle thing."
Number 69. Blizzard released 3D models and details of each character in the game before launch. Many thought this was supposed to be a tool for cosplayers to make accurate costumes, but it was actually for pillow manufacturers to make accurate body pillows of the characters to sell to neckbeards. Number 23. There are references throughout the game to Winston liking peanut butter, which is a reference to the Planet of the Apes movies. It's common knowledge that dogs like peanut butter, and the monkeys in the Planet of the Apes movies are often compared to dogs in their lack of having vision in the full visible color spectrum. Number 8. Overwatch has more Japanese characters than any other nationality. This is actually because of Japan's totalitarian communist government. The Japanese monarchy wouldn't allow the game to be published in Japan unless it had more Japanese characters than any other single nationality, in order to reinforce the fact that Japanese people are better than everyone else. Number 21. There is no explanation in the game as to what payload you're pushing, but you can notice that the payload uncannily resembles the trucks that Nazis used to escort Jews to concentration camps in World War II. Number 24? Junkrat can be heard saying, "That's not a knife," in reference to the Sesame Street joke, "That's not a duck." Nummer 25. Right outside the spawn point on one of the maps are stars that have the names of famous SS soldiers, including Erich von dem Bach-Zelewski, the Obergruppenführer, and Ludolf von Alvensleben, the Gruppenführer, who held ranks of NSDAP Reichstagsabgeordneter, SS-Gruppenführer und Generalleutnant der Waffen-SS, and was the commander of the Slebstschütz of the Reichsgau Danzig, West Prussia.
Hey, thanks everyone for watching. Make sure to subscribe if you want to see more Overwatch facts and gameplay. I'm out.